Now, the fact that Mothiba has retired his BNL sneakers does not mean he's done serving at the sport, which he's passionate about. New challenge on his doorstep. As coach, he has now set himself the goal of trying to help his local club, Tuks Basketball, become one of the best teams in the country. Also, as director of sports at St. Mary's School of Girls, he says his passion is working with young athletes. Now, Neo, we're left with the third team. And I can trust, as we were talking off the screen, you said Soweto Panthers or Igoli Magics. I was thinking Igoli Magics. And what was the reason for the third one?
Well, it comes with our encounters when we were playing in the league. It's always been, it was a personal thing against Soweto Panthers. When you play against a team with such a rich history in basketball, they used to play back in the day in the professional basketball league. And for me, it was a matter of, it boils back to the whole mentality of a township where I'm from Soshanguve, playing against a team from Soweto, and I'm repping my hood. And every time we played, the Soweto, you always used to be mostly guys based in Soweto. And every year we sort of like a year plan. We would say, listen, we're going to Soweto because September we're going this. So it's always been we're going to Soweto to dominate Soweto. So I think it's a personal thing, maybe egotistic, but that's just me. But every time we played against Soweto Panthers, it was always fireworks. I remember we played against them in the semi-finals, and actually the both season that we won the championship, we played them in the semi-finals. And the first semi-finals, we beat them by 11, but we were down 20 points at halftime. And then we just rallied back and made sure that we beat them. Second season, same thing happened. We were down. We actually got the game into overtime. So it's always been, a tough encounter against Soweto Panthers. So I always enjoyed those. Nobody likes it. Everybody loves an easy game, but me as a competitor, as someone who likes to compete, those are the type of games I like playing.
Now, even though you've hung your BNL sneakers, you are still involved in the game in some way, obviously using the foundation to go back and still empower the youngsters in the game as a director at St. Mary's with the Tuks basketball team as well. How is that going for you? I mean, with the coaching department as well?
Well, basketball has given me so much, it's only natural that I should give back to the game. And that I had my second stint at the University of Pretoria as a coach, to impart all the stuff that I've learned, all the knowledge that I've gained in the past 15, 20 years of playing. And that is going very well, The guys, obviously, they've seen me play. So whatever I tell them, it's not like I'm just sucking it out of my thumb. But, I've got a good bunch of guys who like to work, who want to get better at it, and obviously they want to play in the BNL as well. So what's the best place to be than to ask, your coach, what is it that I can work on? And obviously at St. Mary's, I'm working with kids from 6 years old all the way up to 18 years old, and I try and instill the lessons that I've learned from basketball, not necessarily to make them professional athletes, but to holistically give them the opportunity to be able to express themselves. Because the lessons I've learned in basketball, I've carried through them my whole life. Discipline, camaraderie, being the next best guy, always putting your hand up. Those are the things that you can take into life, not necessarily only in basketball. So even with the foundation, where we try and we organize an annual tournament in Mamelodi where everybody comes in, and we try and obviously empower the youth through sport. And obviously I get a session where I speak to the kids wherever that I can. I'm invited to schools to give motivational talks so that the kids understand that basketball, you can use it as a tool. My parents never paid a single cent for me to study for my qualification. All of that is through basketball.
Now, you've had a fruitful career in basketball. What do you think about the state of basketball in the country now?
Well, at the moment, we are, playing-wise, we are moving in the right direction. The only thing is obviously trying to get the governance in order, the administration, where we're going back and forth, especially with our mother body. But I believe that the guys we have now, they actually have the right set of mind, the right frame of mind to actually take the sport to the next level. You know, the state of basketball now is of doom and gloom, but for someone who's been there and have gone through it, you realize that we always focus on the negative. There's been some positives coming up. You know, we've got guys who've attended camps overseas. We've got kids who are getting scholarships now, where back in the day, you know, if you didn't have money, you'd stay at home. So now basketball is becoming an avenue, you know, to empower kids from townships. And now you've got these big private schools now getting kids scholarships from the townships, you know. So there's lives being changed through the sport. And that wouldn't happen if there was no proper leadership at the top to make sure that is happening.
You've got the foundation and you're using all your strengths to be an advocate of the game in the country as well. Finally, what does Neo want to be remembered for?
Well, you know what, I always say that if the only thing that people remind me of is a basketball player, then I've done nothing with my life. You know, I want people to remember me as someone who's touched people's lives, someone who's gone out of his way to make sure that justice is served, to make sure that, you know, when I leave a legacy that people can actually follow in my footsteps. Because my playing, anybody can do that. Anybody can play. There's different types of players. But to be able to lay the foundation, you know, for kids coming out of high school to say, you know what, this is to find a path there for them in order for them to be able to express themselves, you know. And basketball has done that for me. And I want kids to understand that, you know, basketball doesn't build character, it just reveals it.
Finally, just quick advice to the youngsters that love the game, that wants to follow the game. Advice from you?
Well, the one thing that I always say is stay in school. You know, at the moment, basketball is not a professional sport, but it can actually give you an education. You know, and the lessons that you learn from basketball is you'll always take them with you wherever you go, whether you go in business or you go at work. The dedication, the amount of hours that you put preparing for a game, that's that same dedication and discipline. You will need it when you are working or when you, as a family man, you know, the decisions that you make, the principles that you garner from there. So, you know, the game does not end on the court. The game actually spills over into your life. And that is the things that you need to take forward as a man, as a family man, and obviously as a business and a person.
No, thank you very much for taking the time to join us on the show today. I wish you all the best with the foundation. I've been following your work for many of the years, even now that you've switched from just playing and going into giving back to the community as well. So I wish you all the best with the coaching, with the leadership, with the youngsters as well.
No, thank you very much for having me, man.
Now, time flies when you're having fun. I want to thank Soshanguve star, former SA national basketball, a captain, now turned coach, motivator, director. Well, to sum it up, advocate of the growth of the game of basketball, Dlala Mzansi. We wish him all the best with the foundation, which he uses as a vehicle to educate young people about sports and offering support to aspiring sportsmen. Remember, if you want to catch the Basketball National League games and enjoy a good game of basketball, you can make your way to the Wembley Stadium every week from Friday to Sunday. As a community, let's give the game all the support it needs for it to grow. And as for the NBA, don't touch that dial up on Soweto TV as we bring you live games every Sunday and Wednesday. For the schedule to see which games we'll be broadcasting at Soweto TV channel is a social space you can visit. Ngesilungu bathi we got you Mbali. Igama lami Vuyo Macoba. Na we repeat kusasa at 5 p.m. kuzobe kusase yime. With the Dlala Mzansi team, sithi Mzansi, wozani nizodlala nathi.